Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys my suggestions for ranked. This is going to include which ships I would suggest for you to play if you have them, and what type of build you should probably be running on them as well, along with some general game tips and some strategies that I've been using so far, which have had better results than what I normally try to do in rank anyway. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So let's start with the ships. First off, I would recommend playing what you're good at. There are ships that are going to be more suited to the current meta in ranked, but at the end of the day, if you are better in ship A, even though ship B is in the meta, you don't have a lot of experience in ship B, I would recommend you go with ship A. But of course, there are times in which you should probably stop and switch over to a different ship and see if that maybe works a bit better for you. Playing it in a fresh play style may work a bit better, and that's kind of what I did. I started out playing the Grosser Curve first, but I kept getting dunked on by CVs and Smolensk, so I went ahead and I swapped on over to the Stalingrad, a ship that I have played a good amount of battles in, but nowhere near the Grosser Curve first. And I had a better time with the Stalingrad than I did with the Curve first. I mean, go figure too, it is the Stalingrad. But if I had to pick a battleship, I would say you should probably actually be playing the Kremlin, if you do have it. Go figure. The best battleship in the game to handle HE spam. It's got, of course, fantastic armor, and it has that Russian damage con that cools down incredibly fast. And if you have Superintendent, you do have 5 charges of it, which, unless you're really in the mess, you probably won't even burn through all 5 charges in one ranked battle, unless you do run across a couple of Smolensk. But for the most part, its large health pool, its great armor, and its damage con will help it prevail in this season of ranked, along with its guns. Its guns are incredibly accurate from about 15 kilometers in. And also, unless you're having a carrier match, the engagement ranges shouldn't, from what I've seen, open up much further than that. But then again, they really won't scoot in under 12 kilometers until you get much later in the game, if at all. So Kremlin would be the best choice out of the BBs. Now, for the cruisers, I have a couple of recommendations. If you have the Stalingrad, that's a top choice, of course, with Smolensk, Minotaur, and Wusta. The spammy cruisers, they are also well suited for this mode, especially the Booster and the Minotaur, because you can go radar Minotaur. I probably wouldn't recommend it, but you can if you want to play that life. The Booster, of course, I mean, God, it has everything. Hydroacoustic search, radar, HE spammy guns. It doesn't have a smoke screen though. And Smolensk, of course, the toxic ship of the year so far. Never-ending rainbows of HE with hydroacoustic search and decent torpedoes and a smoke screen, and 16 guns with a 4-second reload time. If you have it, it's something right now. It's definitely dominating ranked for sure. I've gone very few matches without a Smolensk on the enemy team. Although do know if you are playing a Smolensk or a Booster or a Minotaur, you will be much more reliant on the spotting of others. Other cruisers you could play, I would recommend the Zhao and the Yoshino if you have them. Great long-range HE snipers. Yoshino's HE hits like a friggin' truck, so definitely be going with that if you have it. And Stalingrad, need I say more? Oh, and I forgot to mention the build on the Kremlin. If you do go with the Kremlin, I would definitely go for a survivability build. Just dump everything into survivability. That way you can tank for your team and be around to do some damage later in the match. And Stalingrad, standard Stalingrad build, and with the HE spammy cruisers, their normal HE spammy, push your guns out to as long as you can get them range. I said I want to go with a 19 kilometer Smolensk build. That's a little much. Around 16 kilometers is the sweet zone for Smolensk if you are going to be running that toxic boat. I'm giving you advice, even though it is for the toxic boat of the month. Destroyers, I can't really talk too much about destroyers. I don't have very many of them. I've been seeing a lot of Darings, and actually not a whole lot of the Baguettes. I haven't seen very many French destroyers out there. I guess the Kleber does suffer from not having a smoke screen in this ranked battles, which I can understand because the current meta in ranked battles is a very, very, very static one. what normally happens is your team goes to one cap, you maybe send a destroyer and a cruiser out to the other cap, and they may cap it, they may get smacked, but at the end of the day, no one really moves around a lot. So that's why I would say ships like the Kremlin and the Stalingrad are better choices, because they're very, very good at battle tanking damage and returning damage with interest. And again, if you have a Smolensk, a Minotaur, or a Worcester, they can of course just rain constant shells down upon said static ships. And if you have ships like Yoshino and Zhao on your team too, they can of course do their thing, ride the back lines, and rain heavy hitting HE salvos down on everybody. The name of the game for this ranked battle season is of course HE spam. I doubt anyone would argue that. Now, if you have a carrier in the game, what you're going to want to do is definitely find your AA buddy and cuddle up next to them for most of the match. And for CVs, I've been seeing mostly Hakurus. I've seen them midway every now and then. Have not seen a single Audacious yet. And the Hakurus seems to be doing much, much, much better than the midways. I've seen them, you guys saw my first ranked battles video this week. It was just getting dunked on in Grosser Curve first by Hakuru with their AP bombs, and my god, they hurt. It hurts when they can just, and then 20k salvo, 20k, and just 20k health is just gone from your health pool. It friggin' hurts, not gonna lie. Which coincidentally, the Kremlin, Stalingrad, and the Smolensk all have great AA. The unholy Russian trinity of bias is definitely going to be your to-go ships for your surface ships for this season so far, if you have them. And again, if you don't have them, of course, play what you have, play what you know, and do what you can there. And more often than not, it is much better to be playing a ship that you know and that you're good in, that you're comfortable with, than a stranger one. Also, you should try to at least communicate with your team somewhat. Especially in the beginning of the match, maybe just ask what cap everyone's going to go to, or ask what cap that they want to go for, and just try to open up that line of communication at the start of the match. And even just getting a little bit of feedback there, that's better than just being silent and not having any communication the entire match. Because hey, you may ask someone and some may not really know, but they'll say BC. Are they the authority on what cap to go to? No. But if you have some communication, everyone can see where at least one guy suggests that they go, and you never know. That may be just enough for the team to go BC, and that may win you the match right there. I've seen it happen before. You just need to have some form of communication. Because keep this in mind too, your team may not be talking, and the enemy team may not be talking, but if you have that little bit of communication, that little bit of coordination, that is more than the enemy team is having. Now, of course, if they're the ones communicating and your team isn't communicating, it's going to be a shit show. I'm not going to lie. There's, of course, games where I have entirely mute teammates, and I do believe that there is one in here. I'm not sure if I deleted the clip or not, where I'm in a Stalingrad. I go to B because we said BC, and even though we said BC, no one really objected to it, but I get done doing my thing in Stalingrad, I get taken out, and look up, half the team's hiding in A. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but at least try to communicate. And also do try to be aware of the minimap. Like I goofed up in that instance I just gave to you guys in Stalingrad, because I was too busy doing my thing in Stalingrad and I didn't see where everyone else was at, and lo and behold, they left me high and dry at B while everyone else went and ran to A. Now, can you really run in Stalingrad once you're the center of attention? No. But if you have a minimap awareness and see where everyone is going, then it will also be a better match for you too. So maybe try to open up a little dialogue of communication at the beginning of the game. Then wait a minute. Unless you're like a destroyer, then you do need to take the initiative and start going to a cap. But if you're a cruiser or a battleship, just chill out for a minute, maybe a minute and 30 seconds. Just see where everyone's moving to, so you can go ahead and make your call. That way you're not going to a cap by yourself and then you get deleted by the enemy team. And my final suggestion is just play to win. Play your heart out. Play your hardest. Because it is ranked battles, and in my mind that is when you are supposed to go hard. But if you play your hardest the entire match, just play your best. And your best may not be, someone else's best. But as long as you're giving it your best, giving it your all. If you lose that match, you can at least say, well, I tried to do what I could do, and, well, we didn't win. Much better than giving up 5 minutes into the match, which I've seen someone do that in ranked, which pissed me off to no end. I hate that when people just, they see that they're going to lose, and then they try to be the guy on top of the leaderboard, so they just start damage farming, so they'll have the most amount of XP at the end of the match and save their 1 star. Don't be that guy. Be the guy that's playing all the way through and giving his all the entire match, and you will have a much better ranked experience. Who knows, you may carry your team to victory. So that is my suggestion for ranked this season. Well, I guess my final suggestion would just be don't. Because I'm not playing any more ranked after today, because it's just too frustrating for me. And it's not fun anymore. I'm not having fun in ranked, even though it is the more competitive mode. I'm just not having fun in it. So I'm going to go back to random battles for the rest of, well, until next ranked season. And if they change something, if they even change anything by then, I may not even start next ranked season. Who knows? Alright guys, if you enjoyed today's video, please drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We're on our way to 7,000 subscribers. We're approaching that goal quite fast because of you guys. You have been awesome with all the new subscriptions recently. And I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. And I hope to catch all of you guys in the next one.